We are returning to life from a visitation with this. Let us pray.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Deadtone Podcast. We're your hosts,
Jason.
and Amelia.
In this podcast, we'll be delving into the subject matter of paranormal phenomenon, the dark sides of history, and even make you question the known and unknown within our reality.
In this first episode, we will be talking about the exorcism of Anneliese Michel.
When Michelle was 16, she experienced a seizure and was diagnosed with psychosis caused by a temporal lobe epilepsy. Shortly thereafter, she was diagnosed with depression and was treated by a psychiatric hospital. By the time that she was 20, she had become intolerant of various religious objects and began to hear voices. Her condition worsened. After taking psychiatric medications for 5 years, failed to improve her symptoms. Michelle and her family became convinced she was possessed by a demon. As a result, her family appealed to the Catholic Church for an exorcism. While rejected at first, 2 priests got permission from the local bishop, Joseph Stagel, to perform the exorcism in 1975. The priests began performing exorcisms, and the family stopped consulting doctors. Michelle stopped eating food and died of malnourishment and dehydration after 67 exorcism sessions.
No, that's crazy though.
It really is.
67 exorcism?
67 is insane.
It's very crazy.
Yeah, so let's get into her psychiatric treatment, which began in June 1970, when she had her 3rd seizure at a psychiatric hospital where she had been staying. She was prescribed with anticonvulsion drugs for the first time, including Dilantin, which did not alleviate the problem. She described seeing devil faces, as quotes, at various times of the day. The same month, she was prescribed Owlept, which is similar to...
There's some words that we don't know how to pronounce because it's very, very long.
Yeah, this is basically just her medical diagnosis before everything went down.
Yes.
So bear with me. It included schizophrenia, disturbed behavior, and delusions. By 1973, she began experiencing depression, hallucinated while praying, and complained about hearing voices telling her that she was damned and would rot in hell. Michelle's treatment in a psychiatric hospital did not improve her health, and her depression worsened. Long-term treatment did not help either, and she grew increasingly frustrated with her medical care. Michelle became intolerant of Christian sacred places and objects, such as the crucifix. Yeah, so she couldn't look at saints, she couldn't look at crosses, she couldn't even stand being in a church, according to her family and people around her.
She couldn't even walk past the crucifix.
Yeah, so...
And also, she refused to drink water of a Christian holy spring, so that's...
Yeah, it just shows how far she was when it came to that. Michelle's family and community became convinced that she was possessed and consulted several priests to request an exorcism. The priest declined, recommended the continuation of medical treatment, and informed the family that exorcisms required the bishop's permission. In the Catholic Church, official approval for an exorcism is granted when the subject strictly meets the set criteria and is considered to be suffering from possession and under demonic control. Intense dislike for religious objects and supernatural powers are some of the first indications. Michelle worsened physically and displayed aggression, injured herself, drank her own urine, and ate insects. Wow. In November 1973, Michelle began her treatment and an anti-seizure drug and mood stabilizer. She was prescribed antipsychotic drugs during the course of the religious rites and consumed them frequently until sometime before her death. Despite taking these neuroleptic medications, Michelle's symptoms worsened, and she began growling obscenities, screaming guttural curses, and raving wildly. Yeah, so it basically just shows her decline over time from exactly from 1970 to when she got her diagnosis, and then when she started going down with the mood stabilizers and everything didn't really help her during that time.
No, yeah, that's crazy. Like, Especially her drinking her own pee and eating insects.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And this took years too, so that's like...
Yeah, it took over 5 years or more
Yeah.
because they didn't know exactly what was going on with her. It just shows that her state of mind was just so far. It just like whatever took over her during this time was just keeping her away from her family, her friends, everything. It basically isolated her to do what it wanted, and it did its
Yeah.
bidding at the end of the day. So,
It's crazy even reading about this too.
yeah. It's even more chilling like reading this at almost 3 in the morning.
Literally almost 3 o'clock in the morning. We have some audios for you guys.
Yeah, so we're going to play some of the audios.
Unedited, right?
An uncut version
Yeah.
of the audios.
Very disturbing audios, by the way.
Warning to anyone.
Warning. Yes, warning.
Warning that these may be disturbing, and if you're sensitive to these type of things, I recommend that you skip to another part.
Yes.
And yeah, let's get
Let's
into the first audio.
Let's go.
Große grenzt eine gewaltige Macht, die den Satan und alle Dämonen.
Aber das glauben nicht viele. Ja, es ist ja nur vollstes Weiberzeug. Zum Glück.
Wer ist der Schuld daran? Ihr.
Ja,
Das ist was Kostbares, der Rosenkranz. Kostbar. Rosenkranzmonat.
der aus Klingverstellen nachnimmt, dem ist das Geld zu schade für.
Dann kostet er was.
Aber den schon.
Ja.
Brutzeit oder auch Hilfe.
So, die Arbeit.
Ja, die Arbeit geht natürlich vor. Aber die Drecksau, die Bäden, ja, das kann ihnen noch euer Glück sein. Aber das Ding, das gäbe Sachen, wenn die Drecksau, sie das haben die hineingepflanzt.
Meint die Haare von Leonardo.
Ja, ja.
Was ist das nicht haben?
Yeah, it's disturbing and hard to listen to.
Very disturbing.
Yeah, it is. It's sad seeing and listening to those type of audios where you just see the decline of somebody fighting basically spiritual warfare.
Someone just fighting for their life.
For years.
For years. 5 years. Someone fighting for their life.
Get to hear like the hopelessness in these moments and just like the vulnerability when it comes to everything. But it also just shows the toll that this demonic entity had over her and her life. I mean, how do you feel about listening to these audios?
Scared. Disturbed. Like, I remember when I used to listen to these audios, like, I would just turn it off instantly because it's, like, it's scary, you know?
No, yeah,
it's
it is.
scary.
It
Like,
is.
hearing her speak those words and language and stuff, because she's German, so it's kind of, it's scary, you know? Like,
Yeah, no, it
it's
is.
speechless, too. How do you feel?
I mean, I've always felt off about these audios specifically and about her story. Her story is it's sad, but it's also just like, yeah, it's chilling to know that just happened to her, you know, out of nowhere.
She was only 23, too, when she passed. Because she was so young, too, and it literally just took her life just like that.
Yeah. What's also interesting as I'm reading about the trial of what happened after the aftermath of the situation, I actually get to see that the doctors testified that Michelle was not possessed, stating that the manifestations of demonic possession were a psychological effect of her strict religious upbringing as well as her epilepsy. But again, how can a doctor say that why would she have to go through 67 exorcisms if she was not possessed and it was just a psychological effect of her medications that she was taking for epilepsy? I don't know how
I mean, doctors never do anything, really.
I know.
So it's like,
it feels like a baseless claim because they have nothing else to talk about.
no, yeah, doctors barely even do anything. In those situations, I feel like they don't do anything. Like, they really don't. They just give you medication and you just go home. That's literally all they just do.
Yeah, and then also during her exorcism, they talk about that both priests claim that 6 demons identified themselves during her exorcism, which is all those listed. It begins with Lucifer, Cain, Judas,
Hey.
Iscariot, Nero, Adolf Hitler, and the evil priest named Fleischman. They also stated that Michel was finally freed of demonic possession resulting from the exorcism just before her death. It's interesting that those specific names came up. I mean, those are certain names from the Bible. Those are certain figures. Like, it's interesting.
I feel like Lucifer always comes up when someone's possessed.
Right.
Because Lucifer is,
Yeah,
it's
and then I guess Judas.
more common.
Judas is like an outlier. Well, Cain and Judas, I mean, they're outliers.
Adolf Hitler. Well, then again, she is German. She lives in Germany, so of course that would probably what she'll probably be saying because she lives in Germany.
The bishop also said that he was not aware of Michel's alarming health condition when he approved of the exorcism and did not testify in court. In April 1978, the two priests were convicted of negligent homicide but were given suspended prison sentences and were ordered to share the cost of the legal proceedings. The sentences have been described as stiffer than those requested by the prosecutor, who had asked that the priests only be fined and that the parents be found guilty but not punished. By approving the ancient exorcism rite, the Catholic Church drew public and media attention.
But in some photos, you could see her parents with her, like, the entire time.
Right.
So I don't even know if they were even neglecting her, because why are they in photos with her trying to help her?
Right.
There's literally photos out there.
But they're saying because of her passing, like, that they were negligent to what happened. But I mean, what can you do in that situation? Like, because they're trying to say that they're going to convict the two priests and the parents because of her death, because they were near her around what happened.
Okay, but they didn't barely even help her in that situation.
Yeah.
So that's kind of stupid because they didn't help her. No one really helped her, Not
Yeah.
even the priest, not the hospital, no one. All right, well, we have another audio for you guys to listen to.
Yeah, this is audio 2.
Audio 2, so let's get into it.
Wer lebt, gehört dir nicht.
Allerdings.
Und deswegen kann man sich noch bis zur letzten Sekunde entscheiden.
Ja,
Und die Gottesmutter wird
aber
all
das
die
wird sehr
retten,
schwer.
aber all die retten, die sie angerufen haben in ihrem Leben.
Allerdings.
Ja. Und deswegen kann man niemand vorher verurteilen, stimmt's?
Ja,
Ja. Und dann müssen wir also noch mit den Rosenkranz beten, vor allem für die verstockten Sünder, stimmt's?
nein.
Sag die Wahrheit. Ich befehle es dir im Namen des
Ja.
Geheiligt werde dein Name. Schützen für
Nein, der gehört schon mehr. Der gehört mehr.
Sage die volle Wahrheit.
Doch.
Im Namen des
Ja,
Vaters
mir schon
und des
sehr
Sohnes
weit.
und des Heiligen Geistes. Amen. Du bist da.
Jesus, sag die Wahrheit. Gehört er dir?
An den Früchten werdet ihr sie erkennen.
An welchen Früchten?
Du hast davon ganz was anderes.
An welchen Früchten werden
Nein.
That was crazy.
Yeah, you definitely see how it escalated as they're praying over her, and you could just hear how worse it gets.
And what she's doing and stuff too, what she's saying, it just sounds awful.
Yeah, it does.
Like, you could tell, like, she's getting out of control when they're doing that.
Yeah, so as I'm reading about her after her death and everything, it says that the family and priests were discouraged from viewing Michel's remains. Father Renz later stated that he had been prevented from entering the mortuary. Michel's gravesite remains a pilgrimage site as she revered by small groups of Catholics who believe she atoned for wayward priests and sinful youth. It also says that Michel's father, Joseph Michael, died in 1999. In a 2006 interview, Anna Michel stated that she did not regret her actions, saying, "I know we did the right thing because I saw the sign of Christ in her hands." On June 6, 2013, a fire engulfed the house where Michel had lived. Although the local police determined that it was a case of arson, some locals attributed it to the exorcism case. That's interesting. I did
That
not
is
know
very
that.
interesting.
I did not know
I
the
didn't
house
know that
burned
either.
down. That's really interesting that that happened.
I actually never
I
knew
never
that.
heard
Yeah.
that part of the story. I didn't know how much further it went actually after she passed away. Yeah, I guess I never thought of like that location of like where it was and where it happened, and
Well, that house is no longer there, so
it's
Wow.
so strange.
interesting. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that all that happens and then the house just burns down years and years later.
Yeah, no, that's wow. Okay. Well, we have one more audio for you guys. This is the last audio.
And warning, very disturbing as we close this podcast episode up.
Let's get into it.
Look, die Schweine nach beieinander.
Und
Nicht mehr wissen, was auch noch ist.
ich stehe unter dem Schutz der allerseligsten Jungfrau. Die allerseligste Jungfrau Maria wird nicht zulassen. Ich bin unter ihrem Schutz. Ich stehe unter ihrem Schutz.
Ich spring noch so viel durcheinander und ausstreue draus, dass es nicht mehr sein kann.
Wird nicht wahr sein können. Komm,
Du das Ding weg. Den hat's nie gegeben können. Ja, doch, den hat's gegeben.
ich habe dir den als gegeben.
Der hat mir sowieso genug abgeluchst, der Ruhe.
Er hat dir alle Hand abgelegt. Im Namen der allerseligsten Jungfrau Maria. Im Namen der aller... Das Weihwasser. Das Weihwasser. Das gesegnete Wasser. Darum fährst du nicht aus.
Weil mir so gut gefällt bei dir.
Das sind die
Wow.
Yeah, it's just so chilling listening to the last one.
And you could just like hear her spit at them too. Like that's crazy. Like you just hear her just spit. Like wow. Oh my gosh. Very disturbing audios.
Yeah, throughout this whole episode, it was very,
Very emotional, disturbing.
yeah, this was a very interesting topic to talk about in respects to, her friends and family, and everything. We're not coming here and saying anything bad about what happened to her or anything.
No.
We come here in full respect, and we just want to shed light on exactly what happened to her because it is a truly interesting story, especially in the paranormal realm and everything like that. It definitely starts a conversation that's truly interesting and captivating
Yes.
for, I think, anyone listening and anything. And I love that I get to finally delve into these topics that are very niche these days. So,
Yeah. It's a very interesting thing. It's very interesting talking about these kind of things and, sharing it with you guys. It's
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. It
Yes.
makes it really fun.
okay. Well, that is it.
Yeah, this concludes episode 1 of the Deadtone Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed.
And on the 7th of Sunday, we are going to be talking about Heaven's Gate.
Which is a full topic with a lot of conversation about it. This guy has had so much stuff behind him, and his theories and idealizations were just so far-fetched from what he was actually trying to portray to people. It was, it's going to be a very dark topic, and I'm very excited to touch on that subject with you guys.
It's going to be very interesting talking about it with you guys, too. It's going to be very interesting. By the way, it's going to be in June, if I didn't mention that, June 7th. 2026. So yeah, this is it from the exorcism of the Anneliese Michel.
Yeah, so make sure you guys tune in this Sunday, and we will see you all soon.
Thank you and goodbye.